The Philadelphia skyline was alive with excitement, and inside Lincoln Financial Field, something monumental was unfolding. This was more than just a concert or another stop on a tour. It was Kendrick Lamar and SZA, two giants of black artistry, presenting what could only be seen as a cultural awakening. The Grand National Tour was not merely living up to its title. It was transforming its very meaning. By the way, welcome to Celebrity Rap Den, where rap and celebrity drama never sleep. So hit that subscribe button so you never miss the mess. Let's get into it. Kendrick Lamar, coming off one of the most impactful years in hip-hop, stood not only as an artist, but as a leader of the genre. He had just concluded a lyrical rivalry with Drake that erupted into a historic flurry of diss tracks, memes, and chart-topping hits. His song, Not Like Us, didn't just reach the top of the charts. It blazed through them like fire on dry timber. Stadiums reverberated with its intensity. Radio hosts scrambled to interpret every line, and music scholars began revising their notes. It was an anthem, a celebration of triumph, and a cautionary message all rolled into one. Yet, that was merely the beginning. While many artists would bask in the glory of a single hit, Kendrick launched a comprehensive creative assault. Armed with 5 new Grammys, a second Pulitzer Prize nomination, and a Super Bowl performance so precise and poetic it elevated halftime to a sacred experience, Kendrick didn't just make a comeback. He took control of the narrative. But he wasn't alone. Enter SZA, the enchanting force, the embodiment of vulnerability, and now a commanding performer in her own right. While Kendrick brought the intensity, SZA added a soothing touch. Together, they created a performance that transcended both rap and R&B. It was black poetry in action, filled with anger, sensuality, and everything in between. From the moment fans entered Lincoln Financial Field, the atmosphere was electric. The air was thick with anticipation, reminiscent of the humidity before a summer storm. DJ Mustard energized the crowd with a diverse set. Swag Surfin' blasted from the speakers, causing fans to sway like waves in a sea of people. Then, unexpectedly, We're Young by Fun played, fitting perfectly into the celebratory chaos of the evening. But the real show began when the lights dimmed and the sound of a Buick GNX roared through the stadium. The crowd surged with energy. Smoke filled the stage as Kendrick emerged, not just walking, but rising into the spotlight from inside the car. It was theatrical, defiant, and quintessentially Kendrick. He launched into whacked-out murals, setting a cinematic tone that felt like the opening scene of a Spike Lee film. His voice cut through the smoke like a prophet amidst turmoil. This was more than music. It was a mission. The audience erupted in cheers, some raising their fists, others shedding tears, all completely captivated. Then came the skits. Between songs, Kendrick engaged in a mock argument on screen with a serious, lawyer-like character, clearly poking fun at the rumored legal threats Drake was allegedly preparing following the lyrical onslaught of 2024. In a particularly funny yet sharp moment, Kendrick calmly compared being sued over a diss track to suing Mike Tyson for hitting too hard in the ring, which the audience loved. SZA made her entrance like a rising moon, soft, radiant, and then undeniably powerful. She was introduced in Act 2, with the same GNX vehicle from Kendrick's entrance now adorned with moss and vines, creating a striking contrast to Kendrick's dark, brutalist style. SZA appeared on the hood, illuminated by a gentle purple light. The crowd erupted as she began with Love Galore, followed by Broken Clocks and Snooze, each performance feeling intimate, as if she were sharing personal diary entries only under the right lunar conditions. Butterflies danced across the digital backdrop, and a praying mantis rested on a vine, yet everything felt organic. SZA's well-known fascination with insects transformed into a beautiful metaphor for rebirth, patience, and unique beauty. At one point, she climbed onto a giant animatronic ant named Anthony and floated above the audience during Garden, Say It Like That, eliciting gasps and even tears from a woman in Section 114. Kendrick returned in Act 3 with Like That, dispelling any lingering doubts. When the beat dropped, the crowd erupted, and Kendrick delivered his verses with the intensity of 1,000 think pieces. His movements were precise, calculated, and cold. He didn't bounce around the stage, but prowled it like a boxer who had already won but wanted to make a statement in the final round. Then came Peekaboo, a lighter, more playful moment. The beat became bouncier, prompting fans to dance, and even Kendrick managed a rare smile. It reminded everyone that beneath his extraordinary lyricism and cultural significance, he still cherished the joy of performing, and the fans reciprocated that energy tenfold. SZA returned for All the Stars, creating a moment of spiritual connection. This song, originally released as part of the Black Panther soundtrack years ago, gained new significance in light of Chadwick Boseman's passing, the pandemic, and a remarkable resurgence of Black artistry. Their harmonies resonated powerfully. What made this concert truly special was not just the visuals or the performances, but the storytelling woven throughout. Each segment of the performance flowed seamlessly into the next, featuring short films, skits, and spoken word pieces. Kendrick discussed themes of legacy, paranoia, and the delicate balance between fame and madness, while SZA responded with insights on womanhood, societal pressure, and love that feels like a battle. Their voices complemented each other beautifully, intertwining rather than competing. By Act V, SZA was fully in her element. Dressed in safari shorts and knee pads, she delivered Low, alongside a choreography team that moved gracefully like leaves in the wind. The visuals for Kill Bill transformed into a vivid, neon red dreamscape. She exuded both allure and a hint of danger, combining poetic and primal elements. If Kendrick's part of the concert felt like navigating the cracked sidewalks and lively barbershop conversations of Compton, SZA's felt like wandering through a field in your ex's hoodie, pondering whether bees can shed tears. It seemed like an unlikely combination, yet worked beautifully together. There were certainly some missteps. Kendrick's choice to perform the Playboy Cardi cover, Good Credit, received mixed feedback. While some fans enjoyed the change, others felt it disrupted the energy. Additionally, a brief transition from Count Me Out to DNA caused a temporary lull in momentum. But that's the reality of a 3-hour show packed with over 50 songs. You can't keep up a sprint without taking a breath. What truly mattered was the powerful return to form. Kendrick kicked off, Not Like Us, with the confidence of someone aware that he had just delivered a defining anthem. When the first piano note rang out, the stadium erupted. Phones were raised, hearts raced, and strangers embraced. It felt as if everyone present had been personally affected by the song's intensity and was now united in its catharsis. SZA followed with Saturn, her final song, performing it like a sacred hymn. Her voice soared, her eyes shut tight. It didn't feel like a farewell, it felt prophetic. As the last visuals faded, depicting the Gen X driving off into a digitally created twilight, Kendrick and SZA stood hand in hand at center stage. There were no grand speeches or forced encores, just two artists acknowledging the moment they had created together. Philadelphia experienced more than just a concert. It was a showcase of artistic power, resilience, and unity. The Grand National Tour is not merely a journey through different cities. It's a movement that traverses emotions, sounds, and generations. For anyone still questioning whether Kendrick Lamar and SZA can share a stage without overshadowing each other, the answer was evident in the thunderous applause that followed their final bow. And it wasn't just applause, it was a moment of deep respect. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.